Welcome to mid-April 2026 edition of the Wolf Pack Howl. I'm your host, David Alvarez.
And I'm your co-host, Troy Raridon. During this Wolf Pack Howl, we'll be looking at fast-changing weather.
And a costly new field house for athletes.
First off, though, food options at the Joe.
What are students liking there these days? Riley Fauci has his report with Anthony Garcia behind the camera.
Mario Carlos chooses his food depending how much time he has.
Cool. Honestly, there's so many great options. I love going to Taco Bell when I want something quick, but if the best meal, I would say, is the $10 gyro meal right here, or Yito.
18-year-old speech pathology major Stephanie likes to stop by the Joe before her morning classes.
Honestly, I like Soho and Garbanzo a lot, but honestly, I'm very open to just all the places. I like the variety.
Pre-nursing students Gianna and Paula get most of their food at the Joe and rely on the cheapest options available.
I love Taco Bell. I love Soho.
Okay, how often do y'all come to the Joe?
I'm here like every single day.
Practically the same.
Okay. This is Riley Fossey reporting for the Reno Sandbox.
What food do you like at the Joe, David?
I think the best option there is the Taco Bell Crunchwrap Supreme.
There you go. Switching gears to weather, spring here at the University of Nevada, Reno is always unpredictable.
Taylor Jacobson and Juliana Patton recently reported on campus in the middle of an early spring heat wave.
Hi, my name is Taylor Jacobson, and I'm here at the University of Nevada, Reno on a sunny day in April. The weather here has been pretty inconsistent lately, with recent snow last month, and now heat waves, and now it's starting to get cooler again. We're here to ask students what they think about the weather. Students all across the University of Nevada, Reno's campus have been experiencing the interesting weather changes this spring. Many students are finding different ways to enjoy the weather. For Atera, warmer weather than usual in recent months has been a nice change. She appreciates being able to layer her clothing for different times of the day. What have you been doing now that it's been warmer outside?
Well, it's still cold in the morning, so honestly, I pack my jacket, and then, by the time it heats up in the afternoons, I'll take it off, and it doesn't really matter between shorts and pants with me.
More students have been taking advantage of the warmer weather by sitting outside in between classes and walking everywhere with their friends. Other students, however, were sad about the snow season ending so early and so abruptly. For Mason, the weather as of late has been a bit hot for his taste. He enjoys snowboarding, and despite the brown patches in his last outings, he still tried to squeeze in as many days on the slopes as he could. What have you been up to now in the warmer weather?
I've been trying to get the last of my snowboarding in. It's been pretty hot and slushy, so yeah, that's what I've been doing.
With the warmer weather, there have been more opportunities for students and staff to bike and scooter around campus. The University of Nevada, Reno's campus emphasizes its bikeability by having clear paths for bikers. There are also bike racks all around campus for students and staff to use. This brings a lively energy to campus, especially during the warmer months. While many students are enjoying the warm weather, there's always a risk that a cold spell or even snow could make a flash return, as spring here in Reno is known to be unpredictable. For the Reynolds Sandbox, this is Taylor Jacobson reporting.
Troy, what kind of weather is your favorite here in Northern Nevada?
My favorite kind of weather is the weather where I don't have to bring out my snow boots and not freeze when it's snowing outside constantly.
I understand that all too well. Now, you yourself reported on this new field house currently in construction. Let's hear what you and the students have to say about it.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, my name is Troy Raridon, and we are here at the University of Nevada, Reno. Specifically, to my right is the UNR field house. This field house is projected to be open in the summer of 2026, and a lot of students have found dispute over this topic with the new credit increase of $3.50 per credit. We're going to go around the university asking students if they know about this field house and what their personal feelings are about it.
Construction for the $25 million athletic field house for Nevada started back on August 19th when UNR President Brian Sandoval stood with other construction workers during a groundbreaking ceremony. The field house is primarily going to be used by Nevada teams such as football and women's soccer, with time allocated for UNR students to also use the facility for rent.
I think it's pretty sweet. I think it's a way to get some athletes into the building.
The field house will be useful for athletics when it comes to the fall and winter months when it can be difficult for UNR athletes or intramural teams to play or get practice in due to snow or rain. Another UNR student, Johnny, sees it as a positive for those reasons.
I think it's a new step for athletics, but also for like students as well, because like it snows or rains, you can't really play on the field. So having this new field house will definitely like help with like athletics, but also help with like people that want to like play ball, even if it's raining outside. So I think it's going to be a good addition to UNR.
The flip side is the tuition is going up due to the new addition, with students carrying a $3.50 per credit fee hike at the time when inflation and rising living costs are already making budgets tight.
Yeah, I think like with tuition, it kind of sucks that it does kind of go up, but I think like eventually like all these like new things that are being added is going to be kind of worth it. But again, like there's some people that are struggling like paying tuition that are, like just trying to find a way to pay. And I think like with it increasing like by a lot, I think it could be like a little bit of a problem financially wise.
The university says the facility will also provide a practice area for the Wolf Pack marching band and Nevada Spirit teams, with opportunities for ROTC exercises, ASU win, and community events as well. For the Reynolds Sandbox, this is Troy Raridon reporting.
And the camera work on that video was by my co-host here, David.
Thank you, Troy. Turning to dance, we now have this report by Misha Fayan on Luminescence, a student-led Reno Sparks dance team.
It's a late Saturday afternoon, and the doors at the Reno Dance Company on Glendale Avenue are open to anyone who's interested in taking a hip-hop class. Luminescent is a local Reno Sparks dance team which hosts many yearly events along with monthly dance classes. A 27-year-old graduate student getting her master's in clinical mental health counseling, Justine Pereira, is the instructor for this specific class. She's teaching a beginner-type hip-hop routine.
For this dance specifically, it was more of like a challenge piece because I've never really have done my own original choreography. So I told myself like I can't look at anything else, only for inspiration, but I can't copy the moves unless like I've done it myself. Like this move that you saw in the class, that was from our previous comp piece, but I really tried not to copy anything from YouTube.
Luminescent's social media manager, 22-year-old Monisha Sitter, has previously taken 2 of Justine's classes. She explains how exciting it was to learn the original choreo.
It was different. We don't do a lot of reggaeton within Luminescent. I'm glad that we're expanding the genres that we teach. It was more of a hip hop like style, but the song itself was Moscow Mule by Bad Bunny, and so I'm glad that we're expanding. But I also love how it's very unique to Justine's style. We don't try to force ourselves without outside the scope of like what the instructors know, and so I really enjoyed how it was very unique to Justine's style.
Team leader, 28-year-old Sean Wynn, has emphasized on how the dance classes are a safe space where anyone and everyone can have fun by adding their own flair.
For the community, I think the dance classes honestly just brings an environment where you don't need to be the best dancer and you can come in and enjoy that. No matter what level we teach, I feel like people can just enjoy our vibe and people can just enjoy being in a place where they feel like they're not going to be judged. And whatever they do wrong, they feel like it's actually right because they're just having a good time with us.
By hosting these classes, the instructors are able to have an outlet to express themselves through their dance.
And then for the team, I just think it just helps us grow and understand each other's art more because we are a dance team that respects everyone's dance style and art. And so by taking someone else's class, I feel like as a team, we're also understanding our own members ourselves and getting to know them more as a dancer rather than just a member.
This is Misha Fahayan reporting for the Reynolds Sandbox.
Are you a dancer, Troy?
No, not at all. Can't dance for a lick of my body.
If you want, I can teach you cumbia or salsa. Staying off campus with more serious topics, but which affect students as well. We now have a report about higher gas prices by Ali Ibarra.
Lady was topping off her tank at her usual Maverick station in South Reno. She typically spends around $150 on gas each month. With the recent increase, she's been spending close to $200.
Well, I feel as if at this point we have no option, but it's not the best because I'd rather spend money on something else than buying gas.
The average cost of oil has increased to over $100 per barrel. That's about an overall increase of 40% since the conflict began. Some people believe the United States might be entering a recession due to the jittery stock market and steady increase in gas prices. Michael Taylor, an associate professor in the Department of Economics at the University of Nevada, Reno, doesn't believe that's entirely true.
The U.S. economy seems like it's been able to absorb a lot of this disruption and continue to grow. So I wouldn't forecast a recession. But it does depend on the geopolitics.
Taylor says if the war continues or intensifies, Nevadans may see more price increases in groceries and other goods. Jeff Sanders, a commercial pilot and flight instructor, doesn't mind the pinch.
I think it might be a good thing actually if gas skyrockets to $5, $6, $7 a gallon and brings a lot of attention to what's going on in the world.
He hopes this will drive more people to come out during the midterm elections. The U.S. Department has begun the process of releasing 172 million barrels from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, hoping to relieve some of the pressure on Americans' wallets. Ali Barasotero reporting.
David, are you being affected by the high gas prices?
Yeah, I am. I'm spending a significant amount of money on just gas alone these days. Quite a terrible situation.
Yeah, it is a very terrible situation. Now, even more serious topic, homelessness and how it affects students at UNR by Sophie Kaplan.
Homelessness remains a visible issue in downtown Reno, especially near the University of Nevada, Reno campus. One UNR student says it's something she sees often in her daily routine.
I see it pretty often walking around campus and downtown. It's something that's just part of the area now, and it does scare me at times because you never really know what's going on in those people's minds. It's not like they're bad people or anything. It just can be scary, especially as a female, walking around. I honestly, truly feel bad for the people that live on the streets.
Another student says, while the issue is visible, it doesn't necessarily make him feel unsafe.
A lot of them are just really kind of mellow. They're not really making much noise. I would say 95% of them are not really erratic or appear high or anything like that. So yeah, I'm not too afraid for my safety ever.
Some UNR students themselves may not have stable shelter, but there are no statistics for that. One data point from a recent survey indicated that a third of students identified as food insecure for at least half a year. Students have started initiatives such as Street Medicine Clinic and Reno Burrito Project to keep those living precariously in the biggest little city. Homelessness remains a complex issue affecting students and residents of the Reno, Nevada area. This is Sophie Kaplan reporting with the Reynolds Sandbox.
Yes, that's a terrible situation.
Do you volunteer in any organizations which help those in need?
Yeah, I used to help out with a Catholic youth group that fed the homeless every weekend. It was quite a wonderful experience meeting all those in need.
Nice. Now back to a lighter topic. Troy Barrera recently asked locals what a perfect Sunday looks like for them here in Reno.
Hello, I'm Troy Barrera with the Reynolds School of Journalism, and today I'm in Midtown Reno asking people on the street what their ideal Sunday in Reno looks like.
Going to the casino and winning lots of money.
Maybe a hike over in Collin Ranch, and then thrift stores, the farmer's market at Idlewild, yeah, something like that.
So on Sundays, actually my favorite thing to do in Reno is the weekly farmer's market over at Idlewild, the year-round one. It's really, really nice. Usually it starts around, I want to say 8 or 9, but it's just great to really get up early in the morning and get to walk around in a very nice, controlled local environment. It just feels like a very, very safe place.
I really like to walk my dog. I usually bring him along the river that goes up down to Midtown, and then Midtown. Around here there's usually a lot of bookstores and juice places.
Troy, what do you like to do on Sunday?
I like to go to church. If it's the fall seasons, I love to watch the Raiders play, along with the UNR football team to play as well. But if it's just normal Sunday, just go to church and watch some baseball and any other sports.
Well, you better pray your teams actually win that day.
I will pray.
Well, that's it for the Wolf Pack mid-April 2026 edition.
Do you have a howl for me, David? Ow! Don't forget, the strength of the pack is the wolf.
That's right, and the strength of the wolf is the pack.